one of the things that, and I'm curious kind of what type of answers that you guys get from your clients, but one of the things that continues to blow my mind is when you retire, like the calendar stops existing. I mean, we've since like the Industrial Revolution, right, have been, sorry to get too geeky on you, but we have been, we use things like time, like manage time, kill time. I mean, time is such an important piece of what we do, and then you have structure to it. This is what you do on Monday. This is what you do Tuesday, et cetera. And we have clients that come back that are retired. They're like, oh, what day is today? Oh, it's, they only know because of their appointments. I mean, imagine not having a calendar where you have a calendar, but the days no longer matter. I mean, every day is Saturday. That must be mind-blowing.
It's true. Yep. It's funny because you have some clients where they retire, they check off that honey-do list for like the first few months, right? But there's only so much stuff you can do around the house that you've been putting off for years. It's then what, right? I love it when folks are retired, they come in or we're trying to get them in to continue the planning. They're like, I'm just so busy right now. Yeah. I don't even know how I don't know how I worked all these years. I'm so busy, right? So it's kind of, it's funny like that.
Well, and I love that line too. It's like, I'm more busy now than I was when I was working, which again, I mean, maybe just because we're as you were saying, we're our nose is to the grindstone right now. So we don't necessarily, I mean, we help people think about this, but it's almost like the plumber with the leaky pipes. Like, I don't know how often, personally you think about your own retirement. It's like, wait, I got to focus on that guy's retirement. But the other thing that the word that I came across the other day, which kind of helps describe this, is that talk in terms of kind of our language, is to make sure you have a good social portfolio.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you ever heard that term, right? In the sense that, okay, you have to make sure you have a diversified portfolio. So you have to have stocks, bonds, annuities, et cetera, all the instruments that we use. But they also talk in terms of having a social portfolio, which is, okay, how is your social life? Is it family? Is it friends? Is it volunteering? So, because you talk about, Pat, about how you kind of help people through these things. So, if you don't mind, do you have an example of someone that never thought of it? And then what's the type of questions that you might be able to kind of, help someone along so they can come up with a good answer?
Yeah, so it's more about, so you have to dig into kind of like the person. Now, if you have a couple that you're working with, they might have two different ideas. Like, the wife may want to be very active. She wants to be volunteering. She wants to maybe, spend a lot of time with the grandkids. And the husband might be okay, but kind of just hanging out and, watching a bunch of sports games on recording, because you can record everything now, right? So you ought to kind of understand both sides of it. And so oftentimes, as we go from like the initial conversation, when you get to know them from a very general standpoint, you start diving deeper in the second or third conversation, fourth conversation. It really never stops because people's lives change and their values or their goals may change. So it's really that whole challenge in them to think bigger. I have a story of she's probably gonna be watching this. But I did this and I challenged her to think bigger. And she came back to that second conversation with a list of all these things that she wanted to accomplish in retirement. I basically said, if money wasn't an issue or an option or an obstacle, what would you want this retirement to look like? Because she was about a year into her retirement. So we didn't meet her before her retirement. She was with another financial planning firm. And when she came to that second conversation, she had about, probably 10 to 12 things.
Wow.
And then the interesting thing about those 10 to 12 things is they didn't cost that much money. It was things like she wanted to spend her time doing crafts, visiting her son in another state, and continuing to grow and learn throughout retirement. So like she's a prime example. And those 10 to 12 things, they're not really stressing on the financial sense, but you have to have your financial things in order to comfortably do those things with peace of mind. And so on those 10 to 12 things, now that we're working together, I am checking in, making sure that we are checking off of those boxes.